Hello, it's Grandpa Hickory from freezing cold Texas. We got snow and ice on the ground. I'm staying in. I'm not going anywhere. Uh, I'm telling you, it's really something. Winter is definitely upon us, isn't it? I want to talk to you today about another me and my brother adventure back in the 1950s. And I'm labeling this video The Cry of the Panther. We'll never forget it as long as we live. Me and my brother, we were in the woods a lot when we were lads and boys, and we used to go fishing all the time and things like that to help bring food home for the family. My dad worked his head off, and he was always working, trying to do the best he could. There were a lot of things happened back in the 1950s, job-wise and everything. My dad got laid off, and just one thing after the other. He worked for Timco in Grand Prairie, Texas, and we lived out in the other side of Balch Springs, Texas. And we lived way out in the country in a little shotgun house, a little bitty thing. They called it a shotgun house because you could open the front door and fire a shotgun through the back door with the back door open, and none of the shells, a shotgun is a scatter gun. When you fire a shotgun, it scatters out. Well, you can fire it from standing outside the door of a shotgun house, and it'll go all the way through without hitting, these door jambs or the wall itself. Pellets, you just go right out. That's a shotgun house, and that's what we lived in, little bitty place. But hey, it's all we had. We were renting it from O.L. Nelms. He used to have 18-wheeler trailers all over Dallas, Texas that said, thanks for making O.L. Nelms another million. Another $1 million. Because everybody was renting from him. He bought houses all over the Dallas area and in Fort Worth and all the surrounding areas, and he rented them out, and he became a mega multimillionaire. And he was a nice man. O.L. Nelms, I will say, he was a very nice man. But me and my brother went walking one time. My brother took his BB gun. I sure was glad he did this day. But we always went deep in the woods. We would go and we would fish. We'd carry our hand lines with us. A hand line now is a line of a nylon string. Back then, we didn't have monofilament. We had nylon string as a fishing line. And we had a sinker on it and a hook. And we rolled it up on the cork, and we would put it in our pockets. We had it see where it wouldn't stick into us, the hook. So anyway, we were always going fishing and stuff. We'd go out in the woods, we'd bring fish home, and we would do different things. My brother would sometimes shoot dove or quail. We got a lot of quail, bobwhite quail, with my brother's BB gun. And my brother's always been a soldier. He retired as Chief Warrants Officer, United States Army. He had I think 26 years, 27. I don't know the exact amount. I can't remember. It might be less than that. It might have been 23, 24. I can't remember. But he wrote, we walked down this long, long, long dirt road way out in the country, and we went in these woods we had never been in before. And I'm going to tell you something, people. I don't know if you've ever been out in the woods or not, if you've ever been hunting or going fishing, and you stop and go way out in the forest, in the woods area, how dark it is in those woods. When we left the dirt road, the sun was shining bright. It was in the fall of the year. I think it was early October, might have been the first week of October. We were walking out. It was on a Saturday morning. We were walking along, and I'll never forget, as long as I live, friends, we got way back in them woods, and we was stomping on those big old, leaves, and big old huge oak leaves. And you know what I'm talking about. You people live out in the country. We got some big oak trees out in the woods, people. Big ones. Bigger than the ones you see in the cities. And we were walking along, And all of a sudden, we heard this high-pitched, shrill scream that stopped. And listen, the hair on the back of my head stood up. My hair practically stood up. My brother turned around, looked at me, and he did like that. When my brother did that, I immediately hit the ground. My brother was down on the ground with his BB gun. That's all we had was a Daisy BB gun. Only one. And we only had one little bitty bag of BBs. You people remember that. I think there was 50 BBs in each little bag that cost you a nickel. Sometimes you get 2 bags for a nickel. And when they had them on sale, you get 3 bags for a nickel. But my brother got 3 bags for a nickel, but he only brought 1 bag and filled the gun up. He figured that's all we needed. He didn't bring any more spares with him. Well, there we were in them darkened woods. I was laying down face first in the leaves, and I raised my head up, and I looked around. All I could see was these big leaves all around me. Now, you got to realize I'm sticking my head up like this, trying to see, trying not to make noise. And my brother's like this. We heard the shrill again, and it was coming closer. And then we heard it with our ears. You could hear walking in the leaves, and it was heading straight for us. Well, my brother stood up, and he fired that BB rifle, and he cocked it again. He fired it again, cocked it again, fired it again. I didn't know what he was shooting at. I heard like a blood-curdling scream that scared the daylights out of me, and he did like that. And I jumped up immediately. That was my brother's hand signals. And he did like that, and we both took off running at the same time. We ran out on the road. We finally got out of the deep, dark woods, got on the road, and we went down, but we walked backwards. My brother had that BB rifle. And listen, friends, that thing followed us. It was to the right of us. Then it was to the left of us. Then it was back to the right of us. It was crossing the road somewhere up ahead where we couldn't see. But it was shrilling, screaming like it was tracking us. And I'll never forget it. When we got out of the woods and stepped way out where it was wide open fields, my brother did like this, and I immediately stopped. And I was behind my brother. And out of the woods stepped one of the biggest black panthers I have ever laid my eyes on. I'll never forget as long as I live. And it showed its teeth, and it let out that piercing scream. And it felt like my hair was standing up on end, and my brother did like this. So we started backing up. And we went all the way down that road till we got back to our road that led to our place. And my brother did like this. And we took off running. Buddy, we ran all the way to our house. And we got inside, and my brother and me both stood there looking out the back door. And we didn't go out anymore that day. We stayed in, but I'll never forget it. The Cry of the Panther. I'm asking you to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel to help my channel to grow, and I'll see you on the next video. This happened back in 1957, and I'll never forget as long as I live. I was about 6 years old, but I'll never forget it. You have a good day, and I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye from Texas.